All right, you all, welcome back. I'm your girl, Carlika Katrina Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. And we have an amazing guest with us today, Miss Faye. Make sure you go ahead, pull out your phones, get on your laptops, go to Instagram and look for 9 to 5 menopause. And you're probably like, 9 to 5. I'm telling you, menopause is 24 hours, y'all. Okay, it's not like a child or something, or your fur baby that you can say, hey, I'll be back to pick you up. This is part of our lifestyle. This is part of our transition. This is where we are. But one thing about Faye and myself, you all, because behind the scenes, I said, Faye, we got to hit the record button now, because our conversation just then, look, it was good. It was getting good. So look, I don't want to hold that information back from you all either. And so who am I? I'm the number one Black face of women in menopause, and we will not shut up. We will not be silent. And we're going to keep speaking about menopause and all the aspects of it. And so we have MenoCon coming up, you all, September 16th and 17th of this year, 2022, a live in-person conference. It's a 2-day conference, the ultimate menopause and women's wellness conference. And so you want to be in the building and all those amazing things. And you can go to bit.ly/MenoCon, MENOCON. And so look, I'm telling you, we're not stopping. And so Faye, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's so nice to talk to an American counterpart, because at the moment in the UK, Black women are starting to speak out more about the menopause. I have to say, I called it 9 to 5 menopause because when I started it, well, first of all, when I started the menopause, I was age 46, which was quite young, they reckon, to start it. But my mum started it around the same age. For me, I couldn't find I was all over the internet, could find no women that looked like I did. No women who had melanin. I was like, hang on a minute, I can't be the only one that's going through this. And also, definitely in the UK, I could find no one that had a job, that had to deal with life, like be it the kids, be it get a commuter train and stuff. All I could find was really affluent white women who didn't have a full-time job. They had a nanny, they had a chef, their husbands worked as bankers. And I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. There must be women, Black women, who need some help, who need some support. And really, when I launched it was just as a project for me. It was just for me to say, hey, I'm here. I'm Black. I'm here. And I'm going through the menopause. And it's just kind of grown from there. And I've loved hearing from women as well, just for women to go, I'm suffering. And I'm like, yeah, that's okay. You're allowed to suffer, because this menopause thing is actually quite normal. You know, when you started your period, you know, when you fell pregnant and had a baby, if you fell pregnant, like, this is normal. It's not the plague. You're not going to die from it. It's normal.
And look, Faye, I love that. And a lot of us, you're right. When you Google and different things, and you all take the time to Google yourself, right? Take the time to Google yourself. I was going through the same thing. Like, am I the only woman who's had, and I was thrown into menopause at the age of 30. I had surgical menopause. So I had a total hysterectomy done at the age of 30. And so I don't know. Look, I don't know that perimenopause phase. I just know menopause. Boom, ovaries, everything out, and now you're in menopause, right? It was just like that for me. And so I felt alone. I was like, am I the only woman out here who had a hysterectomy and only went home with some pamphlets, and I didn't have anyone I could call? I didn't have anyone I could turn to. Once you had your follow-up appointment with the doctor, it was like, okay, have a good life, or not, or whatever your life entails. Bye. I got your money. I hope I hope you're well. That was it. So I felt alone. Times that you're crying, you can't. Things were so unexplainable, and as things happen along the way, it's like, okay, so who can I call? Is there a menopause hotline or something? Like, can I get 1-800 menopause?
It's definitely hot. I don't know if it's working.
Like, literally. Can we get the hotline? 1-800 call 1-800 menopause, y'all. That's not a real number, okay? Don't go dialing that. Ain't no one gonna answer. No one's gonna pick up. But the same way that we have hotlines and numbers and different things for people to contact, I was just like, and I'm with you, Faye. I just started literally talking about my menopausal journey because I would be on a live video, pouring down, sweating, looking like I ran a 5K or a 10K, and I'm not. I ain't in no shape to be doing all of that. So I would be sitting here with my water and my paper towels and different things like. So people would ask on the live, well, what's going on? I'm getting ready to get off of here because I'm having a hot flash and I'm getting ready to snatch this wig off and I'm getting ready to just lay out. And I don't want y'all to see all of the goods and stuff. So let me end this live. Y'all have a good day. Right? So I'm with you and it has just evolved. But as we see, menopause itself is evolving.
Exactly that. It surprised me how it kind of took off, really, and I think it's like anything though. When you get a few well-known faces, you've got Gwyneth Paltrow, you've got Oprah Winfrey, all these people talking about the menopause. People are suddenly going, "Oh, let's talk about it now." But I still think there's so much more to be addressed around it, and I think, like I was talking to somebody at the weekend, and it's like, why are we as Black women more prone to be a negative of something? Why is it known to Black women to have worse menopause symptoms? Right. That shouldn't be the case. But if that is the case, what is the research? What do we know? What can we do about it?
What can we do?
What can we do? You said you obviously went through surgical menopause. Mm-hmm. What have you done, or what did you learn to do to help manage your symptoms and stuff?
So I'm glad you.
I love to laugh.
Look. So
I'm sitting comfortable.
Okay. So if we just back up a little bit, you all, let's just paint the picture, right? You're 30 years old. You have this consult and I was in so much pain, right? So no other option was presented to me but have a hysterectomy.
Oh.
No other options. Okay. And it was told to me, like, I remember as if I'm sitting in the doctor's office, like, well, you can either be in pain. And I was in pain for like a couple of years, like just trying to figure out like what's going on. So when I was reading that post, and I can't think of whose Instagram this morning about the young lady, I was just like, that could have been me. Yeah. Right? I could be the one not sitting here today because you're going to all of these specialists and no one is coming up with any answers. The answer was birth control. The answer was, oh, just take warm baths and just relax. I didn't try all of this stuff. I'm not taking another ibuprofen, Advil, or none of these things. So then it was, okay, we're going to put you on birth control. Okay. Well, that was altering my hormones too. So nevertheless, be in pain, hysterectomy. Well, I don't want to be crawling on the floor here and there and periodically for the rest of my life. Okay, let's have the hysterectomy. Right? So fast forwarding, you have the hysterectomy, the mental, I don't care what anyone tells anyone. Had women telling me who didn't have a hysterectomy, oh, you'll be fine. You'll get over it. Women do this all the time.
But you're 30 years of age. And did you have children at that time?
I did. I had my children. So, right. But our hearts go out to the women who've desired to have children, and that was snatched away from you, right? So we didn't know or hear a lot about endometriosis or fibroids and all of these different things, which women of color, we're more susceptible.
Again,
we're the higher percentage. So why aren't we having the conversations, right? So for myself, in order to manage, now, Faye, let me tell you, it's been a journey, right? Because 30 years old and you're not knowing
what's going on with your body.
Expect, right? I don't care what the pamphlets and all of these things said. Until it happened, I remember my first hot flash and I was like, what in the world is going on here? I literally wanted to jump in a deep freezer butt naked. We can get frostbite wherever, however. Felt like I was burning up. So of course, now you're doing your own research. I was like, okay, they say hot flash, what's all this about? So in order for me to manage menopause, because once again, it's nothing I can just sit down. I can't say, hey, I'm going to work now. So menopausal symptoms, hot flashes need to cease, right? This not a bippity boppity boo. This not no Disney movie and all of this stuff. I'm not waving no magic wand. Like,
where's Aladdin and his lamp? Where's Aladdin?
Like my fan, and look, I have a coworker bought me these. It almost looks like headphones, but it's a fan that go around your neck. Right, you're just trying all of the things. Right?
Yeah. You do what you have to do.
You do what you have to do. But I literally I had to start paying attention. Yeah. So I started literally tracking and trending what was going on, what was I eating, what am I doing different times of the day that may have triggered hot flashes. So I even found out for myself, when I start to get irritated with either my surroundings or people and different things, I have more frequent hot flashes. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, so you're an irritant in my life. Bye-bye. Let me remove myself, right?
Oh,
even if I'm at work. And I won't go into detail with this, but I was going through some things on the job just even last year. And I found myself, like, a lot of people don't talk about the anxiety. They don't talk about the heart palpitations. They don't talk about that menopause is not a disease, but it can lead to other things. And if we're not paying attention to our bodies, you would think that, oh, it's just this. No. I'm sitting in a lab that's not well ventilated, AC, they don't want to get that fixed, all of these different things. So now you're aiding to what already that biologically I'm dealing with, right? So
totally.
Find ways. So for me listening to music, me listening to calming things helped me tremendously. I noticed that my hot flashes and different things wouldn't be as frequent. And I was just like, okay. Because at your place of employment, I don't control the thermostat like I can do at home.
I tried.
What'd you say?
I didn't get very far, but I tried.
And that's all you can do. Even like, it's no secret to my place of employment, to people in my church, people around me, anyone who meet me, you're going to already know I'm a menopausal woman. I don't have to hide that. I can't hide when, like, you might not see the sweat dripping down my back.
Oh my God, the worst.
But I can feel that. Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine when you're at work and you know you have tasks and you have things to do, you can feel the sweat dripping down your back, but then you have people paying attention how many breaks you're taking, or, different things like that. That's what causes women to be silent and say, you know what, let me just sit here, be quiet, just do my work and go home. Now, because you get done with your work, and maybe not be making all of your hours and different things. Now people have another issue. Why isn't she making all her hours? Well, the work is done. Like, can we meet in the middle somewhere?
Definitely. And I relate to that so much because when I started my menopause, I was in a different job at the time. Believe it or not, I started a brand new job. It was my first week in the job, sat at my desk, and I felt a rush of heat. Had no idea what it was. I was like, what's going on here? What's happening? Happened a few more times. And then my internal self laughed because I was like, how am I having a hot flash? How am I going? I laughed. I absolutely laughed. But the thing is, that was the first week of that job. I stayed there for 5 years and I never told anybody in HR. Never told anybody, never told my boss. The only time even some of my colleagues found out is because I launched 9 to 5 Menopause while I was at that job, and they found me on their Instagram feed. Other than that, I didn't tell anybody.
Wow.
Because you summed it up. I was slightly embarrassed. I knew when I was getting hot and I'd have to get up and walk away. One of the things I had to change, I had to get public transport to work for my commute to work. And it was a tube train, underground tube train, and it was always packed. By the time it got to my stop, it was packed.
Wow.
I'd get on there and I could feel myself getting hot. How people irritate you and you used to get really riled up. Being on that tube used to get me really like, oh my God, I'm going to get hot. And then it starts sweating and you're in a packed train and you can tell people are looking at you and you're like, oh my God. So all those things come into play. And if you're not confident enough
Yeah.
to question these things and go, right, as you said, you started to pay attention. What is it that brings on my hot flashes? For
Yeah.
me, I'm Jamaican descent. I'll have hot pepper sauce all day long. I can't have it anymore. I can't. I can't have anything spicy. And my
Yeah.
brothers and sisters look at me and go, what happened? And I went, the menopause. I can't have it.
Right. I'm hot enough without this, and this just adds to it, right? This literally adds to
I can't. So, like, all those little bits and pieces, you kind of have to be aware of yourself. And I think more women need to accept what is happening to them.
it.
Because I think, as you say, there's a fear and women are in denial as
They
well.
are. Like Faye, most women, when you mention menopause, they're like, "Oh, I don't want my name mentioned in that. I don't want to get there." Women are afraid to get there, and I think that's why we've been blessed with this assignment to let women see and know. No, we're not masking our symptoms and different things.
No,
We're telling you the real truth, but we're letting you know as well that you can still live your life, right? You just have to make some adjustments. It's no different. I love what you mentioned. The same way you get pregnant, right? Every trimester, something else may
yeah,
occur, something else may happen up until delivery, but you learn how to adjust. Whether that's them putting you on bed rest after the baby is born, you learn how to adjust your sleeping schedule, you learn how to adjust your work schedule, you adjust your life and
thank
make
you.
those necessary accommodations. It's the same thing in menopause. Make the necessary accommodations. Menopausal women running 5 and 6 miles, that's not really going to help you lose weight, right? You need
No,
more muscle strengthening, muscle tone.
all that stuff, all that stuff. So, like, you'll see from my Instagram and stuff. Now, I've dipped in and out of exercise all through my 20s and my
Look,
30s.
I've been seeing you work. I've been seeing you work, Faye.
You got to get it done. Like, so my 20s, 30s, 40s, and it was only when I turned 50, I knew I had to lose weight. So I was overweight anyway. And also, I just knew it was good for me mentally, but
Yes.
also joining that with the menopause, I'd read so much. I have to build up my muscle, I have to build up my bone density.
Yep.
I went to a conference a couple of years ago, and one of the speakers said to me, brittle bone is a worse killer than cancer. Why? Because you don't know you have it
Yep.
until you actually break something.
Yep. Until it happens.
Now, male, female, as we get older, our bone density depletes.
Yep.
It's even more so for women going through who have gone through the menopause. So you have to take things like magnesium or do some form of exercise that is going to build up your muscle tone.
Yes.
And I have to say, I love it. I never thought it would be something I would get into. I
Yeah.
just wanted to try it because I knew I had to do it.
Right.
I love it. And I
It's
genuinely
amazing.
feel like a badass. I feel like the woman I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
And also, the other thing I want to say is I feel like my life is just beginning. I don't feel like the menopause has, yes, it's held me back. Yes, it's been difficult because I've had to deal with other things as well. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to dismiss it and say,
Right.
oh, it's easy, because it's not.
It's not.
But by learning different things and getting the information, I do feel empowered. I
I do
do.
too, Faye. Like I told you behind it, we here. I feel the same way. Like we're not telling people, oh, it's just gonna be a walk in the park. Now, for someone else, it may be because menopause is not a one size fits all, right? And
Yes.
we're sharing our own personal experiences just to educate, to empower someone else to say, look, go to your doctors. If you need a second opinion, get a second opinion. If you need, we just want you to know there are resources and options. So we're not giving you any medical advice. Always consult your doctors for your own needs. But what we're saying is we're women sitting here, women of color, who are saying, number one, we're not going to be silent. We're going to keep speaking up about menopause. We can only share our experience. Like Faye said, she went through, perimenopause and all. I didn't go through perimenopause. So y'all, I can't tell you what how you going to feel. I had surgical menopause. There's a difference. And so what we're saying is there are resources. You have support, you have community, because when we started this journey, we didn't have that. And that's why we're passionate about it, because we don't want the next woman to sit in silence and suffer when
No.
you don't have to. So we're not saying that every day. Like I said, it's been a journey, and it's still a journey. But one thing I can say, you're never going to see me on a picture that the ones they show on Google looking sad and depressed, because I don't
Thank
feel
you.
depressed. I feel amazing, right?
Good.
If I have some days where I'm a little on the fatigue side or whatever, but I take moment by moment, day by day, and I accommodate myself. I'm not accommodating the people around me, because I don't have time for that, because
No.
they needs always gonna change too, right? But I'm here to accommodate myself and say, you know what, I might need to I may need to take a day off. I may need to call out. I may need that day because I didn't get enough sleep the night before. So now, how can I show up and drive and do all of these? Why? Because I love me and I love my
Yes.
life.
Oh, I love that. I love that because you matter. And I think for many women as they get older or they go through something, they lose sight of themselves. And they
Yes.
shouldn't, because you're phenomenal. What you're doing is phenomenal straight off the bat.
Thank
Like wanting to help other women. And I think people need to remember, like, going through something like a hysterectomy, it's also not just physically, it's mentally challenging. It's not something I've gone through, but I can recognize it's something that's going to be mentally challenging. And at the age of 30,
you. Yeah.
like, and to come out the other side and go, what can I do for me? What can I do to make myself better? And the other thing you touched upon in terms of, we need to empower the younger generation. They need to learn all this stuff. They need, I can't bear the moany people just like, oh, it's the menopause. It's like, get a grip.
It's like, Faye, it's not a death sentence, okay? That's
Yeah.
what, if y'all don't take nothing else from our conversation, when you look at the word menopause, what are the first two letters? M-E, me.
Me.
So no one can tell you how you feel. No one can tell you what you're going through. No one can tell you what's going on with your body. And I'm not saying, in order to have a meaningful conversation, that the options can be presented to you so that you can make a sound decision for yourself. Because ultimately, the decision is yours if you want HRT. The decision is yours if you want butt pellets. The decision is yours if you want to seek more holistic remedies. The
Yes.
decision is yours, but those decisions have to be presented to you as options,
Yes.
right? I
And
love it.
that's knowledge. And that is knowledge. And I think when women have, we've said this already, but women have a certain idea when they get pregnant.
Yeah.
Women at the moment have no idea when the menopause starts. And I think the knowledge is key. And I love that you touched upon the HRT or holistic, because, and I've said this from the very beginning, I'm currently on HRT. I'm very, very much holistic natural remedy. That is my go-to
Yeah.
for anything, for a headache, for a chesty cough. I'm holistic and natural remedies. At the
Yes.
point I went to my doctor, I was broken. I was
Yes.
absolutely broken.
Wow.
And I just needed help. I actually walked into my doctor's surgery and I sat on that chair and I cried for a solid 5 minutes. The doctor just kept giving me tissues and waiting for me to finish
Thank
crying.
you.
It was like that. And I was like, oh my God. And then when I told her everything, she went, because I'd already gathered I was going hot flushes, going through the menopause stuff, because I waited a whole year. I kind of was fine. I was like, yeah, this is okay. I can deal with this. Everything's fine. And then it went to pot. So I went to my GP and she was lovely. I was really lucky because so many women do go to their doctors, they get misdiagnosed or they're told to go away and don't be so stupid. I was lucky and she prescribed me HRT. And I will always say it has helped me to be the woman I am today. It
Wow.
saved me. It saved
Wow.
me.
I was talking to Nicole on yesterday, and she She said she feels the same way about butt pellets. Once again, we're not giving you any medical advice. We're not giving you any
No.
medical diagnosis. What we're saying is seek help, and you don't have to be ashamed, and you don't have to be silent. That's what we're promoting. You don't have to suffer in silence because you're not alone, and there are options. For myself, Faye, I'm still not on anything simply because my doctor, something was going on with my left breast. And then just recently, he's like, I don't know why your liver enzymes are going up, right? So
Right.
my my RF factor and liver enzymes are just escalating. So we're working on things, but once again,
Yeah.
we're here, and I have work to do. I'm not allowing anything to just stop me
No.
from having these conversations, because I can't do what I do without you all, because I don't know everything, right? I haven't had
No.
all of the experiences. So this is why we have these conversations. This is why I love connecting with other women who have that same mindset of empowering. Let's empower, let's educate, and encourage someone, because someone who's listening may be feeling, you know what? I went to the doctor, I got no answers. You know what?
Yeah.
I went to a couple of doctors, didn't get answers. I don't know where to start. I feel alone. I feel like I can't say anything at my place of employment. I feel like I'm just losing my mind or going crazy, or I feel like I'm depressed, or whatever the case may be. That's why we're here. So just to say, you have options, right?
Yeah.
And so I love what you're doing. And I love that I saw you the other day on one of the videos. Your trainer is hilarious. Okay. Tell him to get out your camera.
But see, that was me having a menopausal moment. I set it all up. It was all fine. And then I wasn't even taping myself. I was recording him, which was brilliant. But there's so many things. And like, I could talk to you for so long. Things like get rid of people that don't, what's the word I'm going to use? Get rid of people that don't bring you joy. And when I say that, that's in terms of people that support you,
Yeah.
people that you can talk to. Don't surround yourself with negativity. Don't surround yourself with people that don't want to see you do well.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people that have your best interests at heart. It doesn't have to be your best friend. It doesn't have to be your family. I just think the world as it is at the moment, and what we've all seen the last few years, surround yourself with positivity. And that's not always easy to do, but I found a place where those trainers, my coaches, they champion me, they push me, they celebrate with me on my wins and stuff. And you know what? Since the whole me having a menopause, I've definitely weeded out a few people in my life that was just bringing me no benefit. There's no point.
Wow.
As you said, it's all about you. It's all about me. And you can have empathy for other women. You can want to support other women, but there should be no need to drag another woman down.
I agree.
So if you want to do, as you say, bum pellets, if you want to do HRT, if you want to do natural remedies, that is your choice. No one else's, your choice. People can have an opinion, but that's just it. It's their opinion, because you matter, and it's what is right for you as an individual.
I love that. And I think if more people get that mindset, that opinions they are okay, and I respect your opinion, because we're human beings. So we're not here to agree on every single thing, right? We'll have an early grave if you just went around trying to please every single person all of the time. So we do have to be very conscious of our community. We have to be very careful of the people that we allow in.
Yes.
Because once again, we have a choice, right? We have a choice, and then creating those boundaries, right? Growing up, we wasn't really taught about a lot of boundaries, right? So even as adults, we have boundaries. Even at our places of employment, we create boundaries, because you can do that. And that's okay. Boundaries are not bad. Like, boundaries are good, and we all need them. We need social media boundaries, right? We can't be on social media all day long. Right. No,
I don't know how the kids do it. I really don't know how the kids do it, seriously, because the whole I'm like, I've had to teach myself, and I'm like, oh, that's what I do. That's what I've got to do.
Right. Oh, that's okay. But we have to set those boundaries, and then we set food boundaries. We set boundaries for going to sleep. So. I
True.
think if we get back to some of the basics, number one of the things that we really enjoy. No, menopause is not the easiest journey. But I heard someone say women do hard things, right? Right. It's not the easiest thing to be pushing out if you had a now 9 pound baby and all of these things.
Ooh, yeah.
Pregnancy, these things are hard work, right? No one said it was going to be a walk in the park, but there is joy in it, and we just have to find that. So I think it's a lot about our perspective, the narrative of how menopause is presented to people, right? I think if
Yeah.
it was presented to me in a different way almost 12 years ago, some
Oh,
of the things that I did endure, I know for a fact, if I would have had community and meeting people like yourself and different women who are doing amazing things in this particular industry
it would
of
have been
women's
very
work,
different.
it will be different. I think we will see a difference in some of the pictures that's already seemingly permanent on Google, right? So we will
I
see some
hope
different pictures.
so. I really do hope so. For me, it's like I've always enjoyed like clothes. I don't want to call it fashion because I think everyone has their own fashion, everyone has their own style. What I like, that person might not like it. What
Right.
that person likes, I might not like it. It doesn't make it right and it doesn't make it wrong. But it's one of those things like 10 years ago, you'd reach a certain age. It's like, oh, well, I can't wear that anymore. Why not? Why
Why?
not? Why?
Or what was it? It used to be you couldn't wear white after Labor Day or something like that. I know in the States it was like over here it was like you can't wear white, and I was just like, I like my white leather jacket, and I like my white boots, and I like this. Who can tell me what colors I can wear because of a day?
No, no. It's so funny. So the one thing I've always had is good legs. I've got good legs, and there's a pair of shorts in my wardrobe, and and I'm like, I'm going to wear those. I'm going to wear those with some boots, some tights, and some boots. I'm going to wear those. It's funny that I'm building up the courage to wear them because I'm thinking, can I? Even though I've just given that little lecture, and I'm like, yes, I can. I will wear them. I will.
Look, we'll be looking for them on Instagram. You all wait till y'all see. We're gonna be looking for this picture, Faye. Okay, look, we're gonna be looking for this picture, but I love it because I do feel like women, once you get to a certain age, and men, we're not leaving you out, but this is, just
Yeah,
women's conversation. Um, you do become more fearless, right? Or at least you should become more fearless. You should
you
be able
should.
to be more bolder. You should be more courageous in saying, you know what? I'm not allowing my age. And I mean,
To dictate.
I'm 42, so I normally get the looks like, oh my God, you look too young to be in menopause, but I'm not. I've met women younger than me
Oh wow.
in their
See, and that's
20s.
something I find really interesting. And it's menopause women get forgotten, but the other area is young women going through the menopause. They're not even thought of at this moment in time, and they should be. And they should
Yeah,
be.
I agree. It's no different than, like you said earlier, if we talk about the first period, right? We have all this information. We should have just as much information and that much more pride in the
Yeah,
last period, right? We should have that much more information. It should be that normalized. The first period is very normalized,
yeah,
right?
it is.
The last period should be that normalized where in the textbooks and everything, we should be talking about the last period as well.
We should because it's quite significant. Now, the whole perimenopause menopause thing has always kind of confused me. And then someone broke it down for me. So essentially, you start having the symptoms, perimenopause. You carry on having the symptoms, and then a year passes where you don't have a period. Okay, so 1 year passes where you don't have a period. On that one day after that 1 year, you're in the menopause.
Yeah.
Then after that, you're post menopause. And I'm like, what rubbish is this? It's like,
Like that quick, right?
yeah, seriously. So
Okay.
I went last year, I went 8 months and I was like, yeah, I'm there. I'm nearly, I'm nearly there. Then my period started. I was like, are you joking me? I've got to go for another year now.
Now I'm not even there yet. Not there. I'm not there. But you hear women saying that. I think a lady the other day, about a month ago, a lady was telling me, she was just like, do you know I got my period back? I said, oh. Look, she threw me off because I was like, wow. She said, and I was just so upset. She was like, my stomach is cramping. She said, like, I was so upset. She said, because I'm like, I have not had a period in months. And I said, oh, wow. I really want to say, wow, that sucks. Like, but I was trying to choose my words wisely, but I was like, wow.
Oh, God, that made me laugh. See, I knew, because it's one of those things. The other thing that around the menopause is sex and sexual relations with your partners and whatever. And I always say, I never even realized that I lost my sex drive until it came back in COVID. In COVID, lockdown, all I live on my own in my own flat and stuff, lockdown. And I'm like, why am I feeling so fruity? What is going on? What's happening?
What's happening? I haven't had these feelings in a while. I love you said in COVID.
In COVID,
like my sex drive want to go through the roof when I'm on lockdown.
That's exactly how I felt. I was like, are you messing with me? What's going on?
Like, let me just pray or do something. But that's one of the things too that I do believe more women are becoming more comfortable even expressing with their sexual drive and different things. And once again, I do believe, Faye, that all this just really, it comes back to those two letters, M-E, me. Us being able to communicate with our partners, with our employers, with our doctors, with our children, right? My children know about menopause because I don't hide nothing.
Good.
I don't hide nothing. Like, look, my daughter, when she was younger, she would cramp so bad. Leah, don't get me if you watch this, right? She would cramp so bad. So one day, I want to say Leah had to be about 15. She came to me and she was like, hey, can I get that thing that you had?
The hysterectomy. Oh, no.
I was like, what? She was like, yeah, because I'm just over this. Like, and I said, oh.
Oh, dear.
Leah, they're not going to give you a hysterectomy at 15.
Oh, so young.
Do you know how crazy I'm going to look going into the doctor? Hey. She's 15, but she want a hysterectomy. I was like, you don't want a hysterectomy. That's not what you want. So I had, but we had those open conversations. And I think it does say, hey, I'm open with it. I'm confident enough to talk about it. And that's the empowering piece of, I believe, what all of us are bringing in the industry, coming together virtually, hopefully one day in person, whether I'm in the UK or you in the US, wherever that may meet, where we're just bringing our experiences, our expertise, and different things to the table to say, look, because more women are going to go into menopause. More women are going to have surgical menopause. Every woman is not going to get there naturally, right?
No.
Medical menopause, whatever category you may fall into, you may experience some of the symptoms. And I love what you said earlier. It's mental. But that's the part that a lot of times people kind of dismiss because we focus on all of the other symptoms. But that
hot flashes and everything else. But for me, one of the most crippling symptoms for me, I kind of learned to live with the hot flashes a bit. But the one thing was my anxiety. And that's what broke me and eventually sent me to the doctor. Wow. And that's the one thing that women, I feel, don't address as much as they should, because they just think they're feeling blue or they're feeling fed up and stuff. But it's a main component of going through the menopause.
The emotional aspect of it. And you said, like, even when we might be laughing, you all, but we definitely take this topic very seriously. But my thing is this, I'm all about making it should be a conversation that's easy to have. And that's what we're exemplifying and showing. It's a conversation that's easy to have. if we can talk about other things, we should be able to talk about women's health, right? And we need more funding for research. We need more things taking place in legislation. We need more things taking place in insurance, because this is a thing. I don't know how it is over in the UK, but let us know. Over here, these treatment plans, they're not covered by insurance. So
Yeah.
most women who may say, yeah, I would love to have something and so I can feel like me again,
But it's not
but
covered.
if it's $350 every 12 weeks, a lot of people are like, I can't just afford that. So why, to the insurance companies, that we're going to send this video to you. And Oprah, when you watch this video, if you're listening, we want to hear your story too, right? We're going to say to the insurance company, why shouldn't this be covered, right?
Yeah.
Pregnancies and different things are covered. This is just another transition in a woman's life. Why do people have to choose?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And I think even over here, there's a battle, because we have a different health system to yourself. It's a battle to get the doctor to listen. But also for those people that are private, you don't necessarily get the help privately. You have to have a premium insurance cover to be able to get that kind of help. And I think there's so many aspects of this. And I think for me, the one big thing is I don't want women to suffer. If I can help one woman, two women, three women, I don't want them to suffer. I want them to realize, and I think it is starting that movement where
it is.
Insurance companies do need to listen. It is part of a woman's kind of growth.
I agree.
Women are very integral to the workforce. Let that, so many women I know have dropped out of their work because they weren't supported in the workplace.
Yeah.
And I think that's another topic we can cover another time.
We can.
Yeah.
I agree, because I know over here, even places that I have been employed at, menopause is definitely not a topic of discussion with all the trainings and different things. Some places you have advocates in different things. Menopause is not one of them. It's just almost like one of those things. Hey, if that's what you deal with, you'll figure out how to accommodate, because what we're really concerned about is our bottom line.
Totally.
We're just having real conversation. Our bottom line, not realizing that when you start losing people that have been there
and have that knowledge and experience,
when they leave, that's a big loss for you, because now you have, even if you hire someone younger, you have to hire them, you have to train them, you have to, that wealth of knowledge that person that's been there, that's gone
with them. Yeah, they don't see that. And I think over here it's starting to be addressed in workplaces. Companies are starting to look at work menopause policies, which I think is just amazing.
Okay.
And I think it's definitely something that you should start championing. Like, just see, for me, I've done a couple of things where I've gone into companies that did lunchtime talks so that staff can hear about it, because it's happening. Just because people ain't talking about it, the menopause is happening at home, whether it be with Tom in the corner or Bob over there, their wife, partner, daughter or something is going through the menopause.
And guess what, Faye? I love that you brought that. You all, yes, we're getting ready to leave in a few minutes, but this is such rich conversation. And you're right. The partners, they're dealing with it as well. Right? They're dealing with it as well. And so when they come to work, and I've talked to Dr. Seibel. He said that's why he started diving into it, because he was looking for answers for his wife.
Brilliant.
He was looking men out there. Answers. And there are. And I think I want to believe I read something on LinkedIn. And you all don't quote me on this, okay? Blame it on the menopause brain fog. No, I'm just kidding.
Blame it on the menopause.
Blame it on the pause, right? But I believe an article was a man who was, I think his wife ended up committing suicide or something. And he was raising that awareness that we have to pay attention, like know the signs, like, because I've never been at that point or anything, but I can only imagine when those waves of depression, when those waves of anxiety and different things, and some things that you've never even dealt with in your life
Yeah, and
start
it hits
happening
you.
and it's new to you.
Yeah, it's I've been for me going to my doctor, I was heading towards that point. And I don't know if this is correct. Again, don't quote me, but I think someone said suicide rates in women of that average late 40s, 50 is quite high
It is.
because they're hitting the
And I
menopause.
was just reading the other day because condolences definitely to Miss USA and her family and different things like that. But they were even saying amongst African American women,
Yeah,
it's on a rise, right? It's on a rise. And so, once again, we just don't want anyone to suffer. So, even if that's you listening today, now, next year, whatever,
reach
there's
out.
help. Reach out to someone, right? Reach out. It may not, like you said, it may not be a family member. It may be a complete stranger. I've had
Yes.
complete strangers like tell me their whole life in Walmart. Okay.
Yes.
And guess what I did though? I was not in so much of a rush that I couldn't stand there and listen.
Yes.
And
I
they've cried. I mean, they've cried. I've prayed for them in public. I've given them my business phone number and different
good.
things. Because sometimes yes, I might have wanted to get home, but at that moment, I was placed at that moment, at that time, for that person to tell them that your life is worth living and reach out to
Yes.
me. Do you know some of those people still reach out to me and they say, thank you for just
Oh,
taking the time to listen because I was on the verge of killing myself. I had someone call me at about 3 something in the morning one time on Facebook Messenger. Now, you want to know why I was up? Because I had a hot flash.
that, that, that hot flash woke you up for a reason. It
And
woke
I
you up
woke
for a
up,
reason.
checked the thermostat, threw them covers back, and I was like, and then I was like, oh, don't worry about it. Let me call her. Profusely crying, ready to give up.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
And so all I'm saying, you know, every aspect of menopause, we don't just focus on the symptoms. We're talking about our well-being, our emotional, our intelligence, our mental, our physical, all of our well-being. This is why
It's
we're
life.
having these conversations, right? Yes, you may
Yes.
see menopause March Madness, but when we're talking about menopause, I just want people to be empowered, want you to be educated, and more so want you to know that you have support. If you don't want to reach out to me, you may want to reach out to Faye, right? You don't want to reach out to either one of us.
Please
It's
do.
someone else we can direct. Believe me, we can direct you to someone. I don't care if I have to do research and find a menopause specialist or a
Yeah.
therapist or something in your area. It's nothing but a click. Look, we always have these. Okay,
Yes.
where you live at again? What city and state you live in? Because by nature I'm a researcher. That's what my degree biology.
Yes.
I like research, so it's not. But just to provide the support. Why? Because those are the things we didn't have.
Yes. And I want women to realize you're not on your own and that more than anything, you matter. You do matter. And I know your husband might have paid you the attention. The kids are playing up. Your boss at work is being so horrible, but you matter. And reach out. As she said, just reach out. Just message somebody.
Yes. Yes. So you all look, Faye, I respect your time. We're a little over what we typically would do, but it was all worth it. Look, I'm not bound by just time, right? All things are done and needed at a particular time, at a particular moment
Yes.
for a particular person. And if we reach one person from this that says, you know what, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to show up, and I'm going to speak up, and I'm going to go and seek the help that I need,
You'd make us really happy.
we've
You'd
done our
make us
job.
really happy. Just
Yes.
like I said, even if it's just one person, that's one less woman who is struggling.
Yes. And guess what? Now she's empowered and educated and encouraged, and she's going to do the same thing for someone else, right? It's that cycle of keep going. We're steadily passing the torch, right? We're steadily passing the torch. We're lighting, look, we lighting up the pathway to make it even hotter for menopause, right? Menopause is hot. You're looking at two African American women, and we are hot. Okay. Don't get it twisted. Okay. I might have a little roll. Okay. I might have added a couple of more pounds to myself, but I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. We are hot, fiery women who are on assignment. Okay. Look, that's what it's all about. We are here to serve and support you. So, Faye, before we leave, please let everyone know the best way they can connect with you.
Right, ladies and men, there might be a few gentlemen out there. Please follow me on 9 to 5 Menopause, which is on Instagram. Please feel free to message me. I always respond to anybody that makes contact with me. And who knows, I might get to see some of you in person if I come and visit this lady here.
Come on, Faith. Come on, come on. Look, I'm passport ready. So let me know when things are open where I can travel. I am passport ready because I can definitely see. I'm all about collaborating. So you all stay tuned.
Too.
You don't know. We may plan an event, whether it's virtually or in person in the UK, US, wherever, and we stay tuned, right? Because I say that, Faye, you stuck with me, okay? Look, I ain't going nowhere. You stuck with me.
Ladies, you won't separate us now. This is going to be quite often you'll see us together. So watch this space. And thank you for listening. Thank you so much.
Yes, Faye, I would just want to say thank you for your yes. Thank you for joining me and joining us and giving all your energy and expertise. Look, you all, we've had a ball up here. I don't know about y'all, but I done had a good time today. Menopause March Madness, because every day a woman has been either thrown into menopause, starting her perimenopause journey, or even medically. It's not just during Menopause Awareness Month. We're bringing awareness every single day. Right? And that's what we're about. And so until the next time, when you change your perspective, you will change your life. And that's what we're doing. Let me say that one more time. When you change your perspective, you will change your life. So I am Carlika Katrina Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. Remember, MenoCon, September 16th and 17th of this year, 2022. It is a 2-day women's wellness conference. And we're going to be talking about menopause entrepreneurship. And we talk about all the things. We're talking about sex, and we even have some male speakers, okay? Because you all need to hear it from the male's perspective and talk about their andropause. Hint, hint. They have some of the same symptoms that we have going on. So, ladies, tickets will be going on sale soon. So you want to make sure that you tune in to bit.ly/MenoCon, or just follow me on social media. I'm Carlika Basnight-Menendez across all platforms. And look, hit me in the DM. I'm available. All right. Until the next time, talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.